Caitlin Clark was the rookie in WNBA history who got hit the most. The more experienced players went after her like she stole something from them. Within seconds, she understood that her fame from college didn't matter here. They tried to break her, but she did something that shocked everyone instead. She changed every part of her body. The results shocked everyone. They don't want you to know this harsh story. Birthday: January 22, 2002, place of birth, Des Moines, Iowa. This person was named Caitlin Elizabeth Clark. In a family of 3, she was the middle child. Being right between an older and younger brother would change everything about her. Life was a race from the start. She always fought to stay ahead, win or show something at home in West Des Moines. Brant and Ann didn't know that the girl who would bounce a basketball around the house would one day change the course of sports history. Caitlin's dad played baseball and basketball in college. Football coaches were her grandfather. It was in the blood to play sports. Caitlin was more than just sporty, though. She was obsessed with getting the prize. Even though she was only 5 years old, she was very good at dribbling the ball. Whether it was a school project or a board game, it didn't matter. She needed to get it. Usually, it never got cool around that fire, and sometimes things got too crazy. When they were fighting, she threw her brother into a wall. His head was split in half. So many of those fights had to be stopped by their mom. She was great at more than just hoops. Actually, basketball wasn't the main thing at first. Her high school soccer career saw her score 26 goals in just 6 games. Her coach thought she had what it took to play soccer in Division I. Along with golf, she played tennis, volleyball, softball, and tennis. Additionally, she played the piano. Caitlin could have done more than one thing, but basketball called her more. Once upon a time, there wasn't a club for girls her age. Therefore, her dad put her in the boys' leagues. Simply getting on the court was a fight for her. That strengthened her. Within the 6th grade, she joined the All-Iowa Attack AAU team in Ames. That altered everything. She was only 13, but she was already playing with girls who were older. One coach remembered that she made a step-back three-pointer and then threw a pass that hit its mark but didn't go anywhere. According to that coach, most of the kids would get ice cream after a win. That wasn't important to Caitlin. It was all she wanted, to play better and win more. That was the start of everything. After her sophomore year at Dowling Catholic High School, she shocked everyone. She got 60 points in one game on February 4, 2019. Within the first quarter, she scored 25 points and made 13 three-pounders. That was Iowa's all-time highest number. The fans of the other team's student section even lined up for signatures after the game. She finished her junior year with the most points in the state. The following year, she repeated the feat. She had 33.4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and almost 3 steals per game as a senior. She scored 47 points in her career, which put her in 4th place all-time in Iowa. Additionally, she beat the old record for the most three-pointers made. She scored 42 points in 3 overtimes on February 25, 2019, during the state playoff win. That season, she led Dowling Catholic to a 19-4 record. Her honors include Miss Iowa Basketball, Gatorade Player of the Year, and All-Iowa Athlete of the Year. Back then, her basketball career was already famous. This happened on November 25, 2020. There weren't many people in the stands. COVID kept the fans away, but a freshman named Caitlin Clark, who was 18 years old, was still in the center. Something amazing happened that night in the Carver Hockey Arena in Iowa. She scored 27 points, got 8 rebounds, and passed the ball 4 times. She also made 58% of her shots from the field. From the first play, she took over the game. Though it was her first game, she was already the best player there. Her defenders also said something. She showed that she could stop plays just as easily as she could start them, with 3 steals. That night, Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin, McKenna Warnock, and Monica Zinano were her friends. Years later, they would all help her win a national title. On the first night, though, it was clear. Caitlin Clark would play basketball for Iowa in the future. She did something even stranger 4 weeks later. In a game against Western Illinois on December 22, she had her first career triple-double. She made just 3 of 15 shots from the field, but still scored 13 points, grabbed 13 boards, and passed the ball 10 times. But she didn't give up. She changed. She focused on making plays. She finished off her triple-double with a sharp pass to Logan Cook in the paint for her last assist. Someone at Iowa hadn't had a game like this since 2015, when Samantha Logic scored a triple-double. Trainer Lisa Bludder knew that what she was seeing was not common. Triple-doubles are nice because they don't happen very often, she said. While playing college hoops for the first month, Caitlin did it. When requested, Caitlin gave an answer that was even more amazing than her numbers. "My shot wasn't good, so I just tried to get other people going." This is not how a rookie thinks. Now that's a boss. This happened on February 11th. When Caitlin left Nebraska's home rink, she had set the record for most points scored in a single game. With 10 boards and 7 assists, she scored 39 points. For 18 attempts, she made 12 of them. At the free throw line, she made all of them. She was in charge of everything. From every angle, she burned Nebraska down. By the end of the game, she had scored more than 600 points for the period. A total of 4 other Iowa players had done that before. That was more than one hot night, though. Caitlin was getting more points than anyone else in the country. That was still her first year of school. Within Division I, no one had ever done that before, not a single beginner college student, male or female. It was 29.8 points per game before the Nebraska game. To be more specific, she was the fire. She changed the records by the end of the season. In all, she scored 799 points in 30 games. That's 26.6 points each time. Prior to this season, no rookie had ever scored more in a single season, not only in Iowa but all over the country. In Division I, she had the most points. Her overall points, points per game, field goals made, and three-pointers made were the best in the league. Her assists per game were the second best. It wasn't just threes she was shooting. In a record time, she was making them very quickly. With 116 threes in 30 games, she did very well. Then there are almost 4 per game. Freshmen had never done that before. On 12 occasions, she scored at least 30 goals. We hadn't seen that since 2000. In addition, she scored more points than any other rookie in Iowa's history and ended the season with the 3rd most points in the school's history. Megan Gustafson was the only other player to have scored more, and that was in her last few years, not her first. Plus, she won Big Ten Freshman of the Year. She was the winner of all the awards. The whole season, she won 23 Big Ten awards. 3 times she was named Freshman of the Week. She was the first freshman in history to win Player of the Week 5 times. It was no chance that she made the first team of all Big Ten. Both teachers and reporters agreed that she was the best choice. She shared the Freshman of the Year award with Paige Buchers of UConn. The first Hawkeye to ever be named National Freshman of the Year, she was thrilled. In Big Ten play, she scored 27.7 points and gave out 6.6 assists per game. A total of 30 or more points were scored in 9 conference games. There were 8 more where she got over 20. Not only did her play make news, it also put Iowa back in the running for the national championship. They made it to the final of the Big Ten competition and went all the way to the NCAA tournament's Sweet 16. They had made it to the Sweet 16 8 times before, and it was their 3rd time in 4 years. Innings 2021, Caitlin Clark did something in Division I women's basketball that no one else had ever done. She had the most points and helpers in the whole country. Each game, she scored 27 points, gave out 8 passes, and grabbed 8 rebounds. Most players can't even be in first place in one area. Clark took the lead twice at the same time. It was unheard of to have that much balance. It was up to the scorers to score. People who passed were meant to pass. However, Caitlin Clark didn't follow those rules. Whatever she did, she did. People weren't just shocked by how many points she scored. It was the number of people who helped her do it. 8 helpers a game while scoring the most? Everything you thought you knew about basketball roles was shattered. Defenders put all of their attention on her. Dozens or hundreds of teams. It didn't matter. There were times when she made impossible passes, found friends who were wide open, and set them up like it was nothing. Her passing was sometimes even better than her score. Played like someone was watching her from behind. Their guesses were always wrong when she made defenses guess. Pressure mounted as her stats went up. With normal defense, other teams knew they couldn't contain her. Took it to the ground. There was pushing, bumping, and pulling on her shirt. Some defenders did things that were way beyond what the law allowed. Coaches made whole strategies to wear her down. One possession after another, one shot after another, but she kept going anyway. They tried to hurt her many times, but she always got back up stronger. It was no longer just skill, it was toughness. The bad guys couldn't break her mental toughness. During all of this, something bigger began to take shape. People from all over the country started to watch Iowa hoops all of a sudden. Not just locals or people from the Big Ten, whoever. Ratings for TV went up. Reporters began to fly in. There were no more games. She made her sport better as a whole. Not just her team. People watched to find out what she would do next, and the things she did always made people happy. Everything blew up by 2023. Indiana hadn't been to the Final Four since 1993. Then, on March 26, Caitlin Clark broke a 30-year drought. Not only did she lead, she ruled. In the game, she got 191 points. That is not a mistake. Part 191. Her average was more than 30 a game. Additionally, it wasn't just her. McKenna Warnock and Monica Sinano, 2 of her friends, both stepped up. Everyone was at their best when Clark was around. Although she made it to the Final Four, she wasn't done yet. She had 41 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists against Louisville in the Elite 8. There are 41 points. 12 assists and 10 boards. This had never happened in the history of either the men's or women's NCAA. She had her 11th triple-double, but this one felt unnatural. She made a lot of threes. Many people were in her way as she drove. She got by like a pro. She seemed to have no trouble with it. She found ways to win, even when she was triple-teamed. The fact that really stood out, 60 of Iowa's 97 points came from her or were helped by her. Then South Carolina, the defending champions who had never lost, came along. Duro 36. They were not thought to lose, although Clark shocked everyone again on March 31. Still more, 41 points, 8 assists, and 6 boards. Every point in the fourth quarter was either hers or someone else's work. It ruined the whole season with that game. It had been 42 games since South Carolina had lost, and then Clark showed up. Her logo threes, her sharp cuts, and her sureness of herself. It was hard for even the best defense in the country to handle. In 2023, April 2, Caitlin Clark was only 1 game away from reaching all the goals she had set for herself as a child. The national title is the biggest and best prize. What should have been the highlight of her famous college career turned out to be the worst moment of her life. Louisiana State beat Iowa 102-85. LSU seemed like they would easily win on paper, but the truth was much harder to accept. Despite everything, Clark had fought to get her team there. Within the last few days, she scored 41 points in back-to-back games to help Iowa win the championship. She hit 8 three-pointers in the championship game, which beat the old mark of 7 set in 1990. Her 30 points weren't enough. The look on her face when the buzzer went off said it all. She tried her hardest, but her dream was lost. Then she was a senior. Whoever thought that losing someone would slow her down was wrong. The big night when everything changed was February 15, 2024. When Iowa played Michigan, Clark only needed 8 points. to break Kelsey Plump's record of 3,527 points for the most points in NCAA history. Within 2 minutes of the game starting, she made a long three-point shot from the logo. Everyone in the crowd went crazy. She scored the most points in NCAA women's history with that shot. She did more than that, though. With 49 points, she scored Iowa's highest ever game score. She also grabbed 5 rebounds and gave out 13 assists. All of that happened in her 126th game. Plum's 139 was slower. That night, she scored 3,569 points altogether. She was famous. But she wasn't done yet. It took 54 years for the previous record to be broken on March 3, 2024, in a packed arena game against Ohio State. Pete Maravich had scored 3,067 points, which was the most in the history of Division I. It took Clark 17 more points to pass him. Tickets cost about $598. 0 cents each. The whole country was looking. Later in the first half, she made a free throw. After that 1 point, she scored more points than anyone else in NCAA basketball history. Ladies or men's. She didn't really react. Before the crowd exploded, she didn't even know what she had done. 5 quarters into the game, she had scored 35 points. The deal was done. Kate had lost his record. Here she was, Caitlin Clark, standing alone at the top. However, what took place off the court may be just as memorable. Something new was started by Fox Sports. They set up the Caitlin Cam, a live camera feed that only showed her. It was streamed on TikTok and tracked her every move while she was attacking. We weren't just talking about sports. It was a moment in history. It sold out of all of her games across the country. TV audiences set new highs. Some people who had never seen a women's game before became hooked all of a sudden. They used deep threes, quick throws, and that mean look. She had charm. There was more to her than just hoops. It was getting changed. After doing everything that seemed possible, she did something that had never been done before. She might have had her best game in the Big Ten tournament final against Ohio State. 30 points, 17 assists, and 10 boards in the title game. The first triple-double in Big Ten championship history. Furthermore, this was not any normal triple-double. No one else, man or woman, had scored 30 points and given out 15 assists in the same game in the previous 20 years. With style, she made it happen by making 5 three-pointers and more than 52% of her field goals. It was a seminar. Her 10th triple-double of the year. It's only happened to one woman in history. As soon as everyone saw her, she went back to the NCAA playoffs. Everyone understood what was at risk. Iowa had never won the national title for women. Clark was so close the previous year, she only had one more chance. She brought that weight with her to every game. After that, the repeat that everyone wanted took place. On the last 4, Iowa played UConn. After 30 minutes, UConn locked her up. But when the game was tied in the fourth quarter, Clark took over. Within 25 minutes, they scored 7 points. This game ended with Iowa winning 71-69. The score was 21 for her. Hannah Stuelke, another player on her team, added 23. It was one of the best games ever in college. Iowa is back in the national championship game after that win. During the 2024 NBA draft, the Indiana Fever picked Caitlin Clark with the first pick. It wasn't a shock, no one was surprised, but the effect was something no one saw coming. She had already scored more points than anyone else in NCAA Division I history. Her season highs in points and assists broke records. But after she joined the WNBA, the pressure only heated up. She got a lot of attention. In her first season, she got more than 700,000 votes for All-Star, probably the most ever. The number of people buying her jersey went up over 1,000%, making it the best-selling shirt in the league. People followed her around wherever she played. People went to 88% more games when she was in them. The Caitlin Clark effect, they said. Nothing like it had ever happened in the league, but being in the spotlight had a price. She wasn't able to make a good start on May 14, 2024. In her first game in the WNBA, she had 10 mistakes, which was more than any other player. Stress wasn't the problem, it was war. She was going after by experienced players who were keen to make her earn her spot. In a game against Chicago, Chennedy Carter hit her hard off the ball, and it was later called a major foul. We were just getting started. Over turns, with 5.4 per game, she had the most in the league. She made 225 mistakes during the season, which is the most in WNBA history. She was hurt 10 times and missed 10 games. That really shocked me. In her whole time at Iowa, she had never missed a game because she was hurt. Just one professional season later, her body was already breaking down. In addition to being faster, the league was harder, meaner, and more relentless than anything she had seen before. But she still wouldn't fold. As if it were her job, she broke records. On August 18, 2024, she broke the record for most assists by a rookie with 337. That wasn't just a record for a beginner. That was the most points ever scored by a woman in a WNBA season. She easily beat Tika Penicheiro's long-standing marker. What followed were the points. She had 769 points at the end of the season, which was more than any other rookie ever. Also, she made 122 three-pointers, which beat Ryan Howard's old mark. She had 19 assists in a memorable game against the Dallas Wings, which added up to 66 points between her goals and that broke the record set by Diana Taurasi in 2006 for most points in a single game. Later, there were triple-doubles. The first rookie in league history to get one was her on July 6, 2024. With 19 points, 12 boards, and 13 assists, she was very good. Thereafter, she did it again with 24 points, 10 boards, and 10 assists. Before, no newbie had ever done that. It wasn't until her second season that she had 3 triple-doubles in just 41 games. That put her in the same group as famous women like Sabrina Ionescu and Candace Parker. There was no more doubt at the end of the season. 76 of the 77 first-place votes went to her. Someone else voted for Angel Reese. Furthermore, she was named to the All-WNBA First Team, an honor that had been held by only 5 rookies since 2000. She had the most points, assists, steals, and minutes of any rookie. The numbers told the truth. Plus, she wasn't just the best newbie. In the league, she was one of the best players ever. After that, there were medals. Her name was given Rookie of the Year by the Associated Press, Athlete of the Year by Time magazine in December 2024. The most people to watch her first playoff game since 2000, 1.8 million. She changed the game, not just played it. But something else was going on behind the scenes. Caitlin started dating Connor McCaffrey in April 2023. Connor is the son of Iowa's men's basketball coach. Later, he became a coach after playing for Iowa. They began their relationship in a quiet way. The secret was kept secret for 4 months. However, shared a picture of the two of them on a boat in August 2023. There are only 3 words that describe the best end to summer. Everything was different after that. The web went crazy. Caitlin was no longer just a basketball star. She was one half of a pretty good basketball couple. Nothing big happened, however. Connor posted a birthday message for her 23rd in January 2025. It looked and felt like a love letter. He praised her greatness and told her he felt fortunate to be with her. End of Chapter 4. This recording, it got great reviews. To which Caitlin replied, "I love you," and she also shared the post herself. At that moment, everyone knew this was truly happening. A birthday message from her to Connor in July 2025 followed. Although short, it was full of love. "Congratulations on your birthday, Con. You make every day better." The next day, she helped Indiana win by a huge amount. She lived her life in a way that balanced greatness and kindness. They were moving up quickly in their jobs. Connor worked at Butler as an assistant coach. With her fever, Caitlin kept setting new records. Whatever happened, they stayed close. Although it wasn't flashy, It was strong. Plus, Caitlin had her family to support her through everything. Another star was her dad, Brent. There, he played baseball and basketball. As soon as he started coaching Caitlin when she was young, he knew she was different. Anne, her mom, worked in sales. She was able to handle the stress and help Caitlin with the business side of being famous. Blake and Colin, her brothers, pushed her when she was young. They strengthened her, made her smarter, and pushed her to do better. Caitlin's games were mostly attended by Brent. Anytime she saw him in a crowd, she looked up. Her mom thought it was great that she won the Naismith Trophy and was named AP Player of the Year in March 2023. The family was shocked and proud at the same time. Caitlin got the Caitlin Clark Foundation going in October 2023. Within a few months, it raised more than $100,000, 0 cents, for the food pantry in Coralville. Plus, it helped kids with school, sports, and food. Before she even played in the WNBA, she was already helping others. During a Big Ten playoff game between Iowa and Ohio State on March 7, 2025, one picture turned the internet on its head. One of the photographers, Bree Lewerke, got a picture of Caitlin Clark cheering from the stands. It wasn't a game. She wasn't even wearing a microphone. He just wanted her old team to win. But very quickly, the picture went viral. Not many people were looking at her smile. Their eyes were on her arms. The situation had changed. It looked like she was stronger. It said in the text, "Well, someone's been doing weights." The picture got more than 3.2 million views very quickly. Everybody had something to say. Supporters said she gained 15 pounds of pure American strength. Someone joked that she looked like she could be the coach's bench. Some very famous people in sports joined in. Dave Portnoy couldn't believe how much he had changed. With just one picture, sports blogs made it a national issue. The craziest thing? That's all Caitlin had said about it. For weeks, her name was all over the news because of one quick move during a cheer. It wasn't posted. She wasn't trying to get famous, but people were so angry about it that ESPN talked about it on big shows. Those are the loudest parts. After almost a month, Caitlin finally spoke up. She went on the Bird and Taurasi show on ESPN with Sue Bird and Deanna Taurasi, two legendary WNBA players. There was one thing that everyone watching wanted, an answer. Had it happened? Did it have filters? She became a bodybuilder all of a sudden. It was the position of the camera that made her smile and joke. AI needs to be stopped already. It was the perfect throwaway. Initially, everyone laughed, but then she became serious. She said that she had been working out a lot. She said, "Not just sometimes, I'm trying to get stronger." Personally, I like doing it. I can easily spend time there and work on that part of my game. Without warning, the mystery turned into admiration. It was not a lie. There was no exaggeration. It deserved it. But it wasn't just about how they looked. It was about staying alive. Caitlin had a terrible first WNBA season. The way they were acting shocked her. The other team didn't treat her they treated her like she was a danger. 111 times during her first run she was hit. She was the 11th most fouled player in the league and the most fouled rookie. She got called for 4.2 fouls every game on average, and many of those hits were meant to be rough and send a message. For a moment, everything became very clear. Kennedy Carter slammed into Clark and hit her in the shoulder, knocking her out. Officials first said it was off ball, but later they changed it to a flagrant call. More than just a hard foul happened. We were woken up, Caitlin later told her. Everyone is physical with me. They get away with things that most people wouldn't. She was not complaining. It was true what she said. As the face of women's basketball, she had to meet certain goals. She had to change because it would hurt her game and her team. Everything changed because of Caitlin. She worked with Sarah Kessler, who is the head sports performance coach for the Indiana Fevers. The plan was very strict, spending 4 or 5 days a week in the weight room, extra than just lifting weights. This was a tool that was made just for you. Doing exercises with just one leg will help her jump off the ground. Because she used to play too straight and get knocked around, isometric training helped her stay steady and grounded. She even began working out with just one arm. They tightened up her left arm so it could make certain moves. Not any easy ways, just hard work. Adding creatine to the scheme caused even more debate. There were fans who didn't like it. Some people didn't agree. It is, however, a natural substance. It gets muscles stronger and helps them heal faster. Clark was totally on board. It wasn't her goal to look good on social media. She wanted to make it through the season. In a later interview, Coach Stephanie White said that she knew right away that she needed to get stronger, and she really paid attention to that. The picture that went popular only showed the surface. A story of pain, restraint, and pressure was hidden beneath. Caitlin Clark didn't change just to get praise. Because she wasn't going to be just another name in the news, she changed because she was sick of being pushed around and fouls that weren't whistled.